Hey everybody, and welcome to Now Loading, coming to you live from the Ustream Studios in Hollywood, California. I'm Will.
I'm Shane, and my beard is on assignment.
And each week we're going to be bringing you the latest gaming news, videos, and interviews from those within the industry. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at a new Xbox game.
Right, and I'll be joining you live in the stream and on the chat to take your questions for our guests.
But first, let's go ahead and check out this week's video of the week.
You will not study physics. You will study physics engines. You will not study art. You will study the art of war. You will learn about biology by bathing in the blood of your enemies. Sound good? Then welcome to Video Game High School.
Everyone says I won't make it, but I have dreamed of playing on a VGHS team since I was E for everyone.
Kiss one, fighter. Let's play again. Ted Walk.
Best roommate friends forever!
Who's that?
Jenny Matrix, JV FPS captain.
How would you like to spot on JV?
Really? Brian, let me give you a little advice. You can't be the best unless you be yourself.
Do you really mean that?
More than anything in the world. Too bad you're in my world now, Brian. I am VGHS. Welcome to me.
Looks like you pissed off the law. He's the greatest player in the school.
You're a marked man, Brian. Just like this pizza. Everyone wants a piece of you.
We can't really hang out anymore.
The school took a risk on you, Brian. You let us down.
Just face it, Brian. I've got the looks. I've got the brains. I've got the girl of your dreams. Essin' my D. Stylin' my do.
Oh, damn.
One thing's for sure. Any way you slice this melon, Brian D's chances of making JV at tryouts are over.
You're telling me you have one last shot at your dream and you're just gonna walk away?
Looks like your fable ends here.
It's not about getting back in, it's about one last chance to play with the best of the best.
You know what gaming's about, Brian? It's all about the game.
Boom. Four-way high five.
Get busy fragging or get busy dying. The law has entered the game.
Game over, man.
Game all over our faces!
How crowded as that kid can play.
I hate that kid.
The trailer for Video Game High School by Rocket Jump, which is a collaboration of a whole bunch of YouTube personalities like Freddie Wong, and there was a Epic Mealtime in there, 5 Second Films, but they've already got a couple episodes up on rocketjump.com. I suggest checking them out. It's actually a really cool show.
Right, and also badass cameo by Zachary Levi, Chuck from NBC's Chuck.
So let's go ahead and say hi to Joyce and Richard. They're going to be joining us for this week's roundtable. Richard is almost on the show just as much as we are now. So, and then obviously, thank you, Joyce, for returning.
Of course, thanks for having me again.
So our first story this week is That Game Company's co-creator Genova Chen stated earlier this week that he believes that games are no longer innovative enough and that they don't bring enough feeling to adult players. And he thinks that that's a major downfall within the video game world right now. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think that, there are many types of different games out there, and I think, they have a problem, obviously, with, not having deep enough stories or meaningful characters, stuff like that. But I feel like not every game should be like that. We were talking about that earlier. Mm-hmm. Not every game should have such, depth to them. Sometimes people just want to turn off their brains and play just shallow games and just not have to worry about, diving deep into certain things.
Right, and even games that are originally intended to not be that kind of deep emotional gameplay, like take a game like Team Fortress 2, for example. Yeah. It's supposed to be just a fun team-based shooter, but it's built such a following, it's built such a emotionally invested, community that you suddenly have people who have like their favorite characters and they're invested in that particular, whether the stout storyline or the heavy storyline. And I think humanity has a natural affinity towards creating those emotional experiences, even if they're not necessarily built into the game.
Right.
I do see where he's coming from, though, because, I mean, there's a reason, in my opinion, why Journey sold so well so fast, and it's because, there are games that obviously you want to turn your mind off on, but I think that there's probably too many of those. And maybe there really is a market for games like Journey and stuff like that, because there's so limited few of them that people are like, well, finally, something that I can actually feel good about. At the end of Journey, I really felt like I knew this character that I hadn't even spoken a word to, and I felt really sad when the game was over.
Well, I think there will always and have always been games that have established an emotional connection, and they're usually amidst all the, I don't want to say fodder, because I do enjoy all those other games, but it just makes those the more emotional games and the more character-driven games and more special games stand out all the more.
That's true.
The diamonds in the rough of the gaming world, and I appreciate that. You can have your fun with your mindless entertainment, shooting people up, and then you can switch over. You can switch over just as quickly to build an emotional connection with another kind of game, whether it's designed to give you an emotional connection or whether or not you establish it over time.
Right.
But those games have been. I think those games have been around, and they will continue to be around.
Yeah.
Well, take for example our banners. If you actually look at them, we have Guile, Pac-Man, Mario, Bomberman, Link, Sonic, King Hippo, Cubert, a dude I don't even recognize. But point being that of all these characters, Link is the only one that actually is usually a character that's got like what you would consider a standard epic story. Everybody else is kind of arcadey, simple, surface level, entertainment. Yet these all have become iconic characters that resonate with who we are and what we experience as a culture. So I think there's more there than maybe he is willing to admit. And there's always going to be literature or creative things out there like your Pride and Prejudice, but there's always also going to be guilty pleasures like Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. They can coexist.
I feel like those can also help people use their imaginations more too. You can kind of create maybe parts of the story that's missing in your own mind and kind of bring yourself into that world on your own terms and just make up your own stories.
That's a great example. Yeah, like when I would play Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite RPGs, that was even a story-based game, but I still took my own tack with it because I renamed all the characters. I made them.
Exactly.
It's like when you play Oregon Trail, you're always it's you, that girl you like, and then those two kids that you hate from your class.
And you hope they get dysentery.
Right, yeah, and then Johnny dies of dysentery and you're like, yes, that Johnny Shoemaker.
But one thing that I have to point out is that we're talking about Oregon Trail, Chrono Trigger, all these games but these are from our past. And the thing is that it's nowadays, you have your Master Chief, your Dominic and things like that. While they do have stories, do they have the emotional connection that maybe we do with a Pac-Man that doesn't talk, and I think that maybe it's something that we've lost in the voice acting or, just something that we don't, there's not as heavy as a story.
Well, I think that games like, I always talk about Uncharted. Uncharted 2 and 3, those are action games. You're shooting and killing people, but they have really great characters.
Yes.
And they have really great talent behind the characters, and just the gameplay and the game design is so great that I get an emotional connection with the people involved in those games. And I want to see the adventure unfold. It's like it's like playing a movie that's really exciting, and you just naturally connect with it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Gears of War 3 has some stuff that goes down, and you kind of get a little choked up.
You wouldn't expect that from a game like Gears.
Exactly. Same thing that I'm going through Diablo 3 right now, and it's kind of like, hey, man.
Blizzard has always been able to surprise me with their ability to wrench an emotional reaction out of me.
Yeah.
I don't expect to be doing a quest in WoW and then suddenly to have feels, but I do. I'll go on a quest in Icecrown and suddenly I meet the ghostly spirit of Prince Arthas the Lich King as a child, and get to see his innocence being shattered, and you're like, oh, I just want to hug you.
Those are the kind of emotions that Valve games like Portal and Half-Life bring to me.
Yeah.
Those games make me feel things that other games have not made me feel. But
yeah, the weighted companion cube, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All thing, like,
my favorite.
I have never felt so bad about
I know.
performing a simple act, about throwing a polygon into a
molten lava.
I felt nothing. I did it right away.
They really should. There should be a stat somewhere that tracks like how long it took you to do it. I want to see what the mean is for that.
What portal tells you about yourself?
Yeah. I mean, back to Diablo when they showed the opening cinematic and stuff happens with Deckard, I was like, oh, we're going to see him. So, but yeah, the weighted companion cube, one of those things that you don't even talk to the thing, right? But there's such an emotional connection to a box. It
saves you. It saved you so many times in that level.
It's got a heart on it too.
It does.
I think because of so many games like that coming out recently, we're also expecting so much. We're expecting, to get those hard-hitting emotions more often now because companies have been really good at designing stories and games to do that to us. So I feel like when we're hit with something kind of mindless, we're just like, come on.
Right.
Like, we want something more. We want to engage our brains more. But at the same time, it's nice to just kind of switch your brain off and just like mess around and shoot people. And,
it is, and in the if anybody has played the Call of Duty story, which I know many haven't,
there's a story for that.
Yeah, the last missions on each of the games, like they're at the end, you're like, oh man, we're gonna do this. But yeah, so.
All right, so next up. Microsoft is in a little bit of legal trouble. The International Trade Commission has released a preliminary ruling. One judge, Judge David Shaw, has ruled that Microsoft has materially infringed upon 4 of Motorola's patents regarding the hardware for the Xbox 360. He's recommending that the U.S. ban all sales of Xbox 360 consoles and freeze all imports of consoles into the U.S. And this comes right on the heels of Germany's ruling to prevent any sales of Xboxes in their country. So suddenly Microsoft finds themselves in a pretty rough legal position. In August, the full commission will review the judge's decision and decide whether or not it'll actually go into effect. But between now and August could be the end of any Xbox 360 consoles being sold in the U.S.
How sad.
Yeah, especially since they just announced that $99 bundle.
Right.
This is kind of a rough time for them to hit because they know that they're at the end of their life cycle. I mean, really, if you're not expecting an Xbox to be announced in the next 2 years, expect it. And so, I guess it's a bad time as far as the $99 bundle sales, but it's also a good time because it didn't shoot them right as the Xbox was coming out.
Well, that's assuming that the whatever hardware they're building next isn't based on some of the technology.
That's
I was going to say, I wonder how that's going to translate to the next gen console.
Right.
Like, how is that going to affect its production even? Because now they probably have to make all these revisions and
Right, I'm sure the legal briefs have already been drawn up for that.
Yeah,
Exactly. The case.
So now's the time to buy Xboxes.
Yes.
And then hoard them and then sell them once they go off the market.
Sell them on the black market.
And if you live in Germany, that's too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Germany, we'll start getting them over. We'll start crossing the Maginot Line and getting you consoles.
Yeah.
Solidarity to our German brothers.
Well, spray paint them black and name them PS3s, and they're like, there you go.
This is PS3.
They're just cross-platform games. They can play Xbox on them. But it's interesting because you're right. What if it rolls on to the next Xbox, and maybe I should take back what I just said. Maybe you shouldn't be expecting one in 2 years because now they may have to go back to the grindstone and tear it all apart. Yeah,
it's a possibility.
So this probably could have hurt them a lot worse than it's come to light right now.
It all depends on whether or not they're able to settle with Motorola. I got to imagine that there's got to be backroom deals being made right now. What percentage is enough to get Motorola to go away? What percentage is an acceptable payout? It's definitely a concern, though.
I do have to say, of all companies, Motorola...
Well, that's the thing with patents. Anybody can file a patent at any time for just about anything. And this kind of is part of a broader argument that's happening in the electronics and entertainment industry right now about patents, and even just the tech industry in general, about the ideas of patenting things like code or patenting the methods in which a game is presented. So, I mean, there's somebody out there that claims they had invented motion control and patented it 20 years ago.
I remember
and was
that.
trying to sue Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo all. And, he was patenting an idea. Now, in this particular case, there tend to be... I don't know the specifics of exactly which patents have been supposedly infringed upon, allegedly. But I got to imagine they're probably a little bit more specific about conductors and how electronics are manipulated. But it does seem to be that more and more patents seem to be hindering commerce instead of promoting it, which was their original intent.
Right.
And then you look at things like copyrights, to get a little off topic, but Disney's copyrights on their characters are preventing those things from going into the public domain. They've had to rewrite copyright law almost half a dozen times in the last 20 years to continue to extend that date so that Steamboat Willie doesn't go public domain and suddenly have Mickey Mouse be a character that anybody can write stories about. And this is going to be a problem that's going to start happening to the industry more and more as it develops characters that last for 30, 50, 70 years. I mean, Pac-Man is already middle-aged.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mario and Pac-Man are probably going to start coming up, you know? And I know that, Nintendo, when they created Donkey Kong, Universal sued them because the likeness was so much like King Kong. But it was funny because Universal had earlier argued that King Kong was public domain, and then they won. So in essence, they lost themselves the case 20 some odd years later against Nintendo.
I remember that.
But I'm definitely interested to see how this is going to pan out.
Yeah,
it seems just really complicated and I don't know.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart to wade into patent law and copyright infringement suits. Like, there's a reason that there are lawyers that specialize in this stuff, because it is just a mountain of legalese and a mountain of, looking at previous precedent and previous rulings and international trade law, especially because it's not even just national law, it's international law.
Yeah.
So that brings in a whole new element to it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and nothing may come of it. I mean, they may rule on this. They may review the judge's decision and overturn it.
Exactly.
And then that would be up to Motorola to appeal, and go through that route.
I wonder why Germany was so quick to.
They're Germans. They're quick and decisive. Man. They decide, they move on. They go, next!
9!
And
what is the next case?
And it could be continuously pushed out too. If we all remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the creators of it were kicked off of Activision, and they sued Activision. That went to court this week. That's how long it has taken them to get into court. So they could probably just extend this thing out until the Xbox is lived down.
No, you should have listened to Doc Brown. The justice system works more quickly once we've abolished all lawyers.
So what we're gonna go into our trailers. I know that you guys have all missed them.
Previews.
Exactly, previews. They're back, and I know that you guys have missed them. So we brought them back. We're gonna give our opinions on them as they play. So let's go ahead and start with mine.
What was yours?
So my preview for this week is Saints Row the Third, the game that, in my opinion, can practically do anything and not be wrong. They have introduced ladies from Penthouse into their game. As you can see, they are clothed, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, the kiddies can play this.
Is this why you chose this trailer?
It's because it's Saints Row the Third. Saints Row is awesome. But so they've actually taken their likenesses and put them in the game, and they've added some interesting attacks like, hold on, there you go. So it's a new DLC. It just adds a couple of characters. If you're a fan of Saints Row the Third, like I am, you should check it out. And it's coming out really soon.
Well, I will say,
it's already out.
I will say one thing: it does definitely open up the world for cosplayers out there. I'm sure
oh my goodness!
E3 and Comic-Con are going to be. It's going to be a plethora of spoils.
Those are probably the least unique costumes, though.
It'll
just be like.
Well, that's exactly why, because it'll cost them $15 at Hot Topic,
exactly.
and they're good to go.
Yeah.
Or if you go to a private school, you're already set.
Oh, there you go.
So our next preview is going to be mine. This is going to be a preview for MechWarrior Online. This is a free-to-play multiplayer, MMO version of the MechWarrior or BattleTech universe that's been in development for the last about year or so. It's just entered its closed beta phase. This is going to be a gameplay trailer we're going to see, and we're going to talk about some of the new pricing plans they've announced just this week. So let's take a look. So now that we're taking a look at MechWarrior Online and getting to see a lot of its Battle Mechy goodness, they've announced some pricing plans for people who want to invest in the game early. The game will be free to play, but it does give you the opportunity to pre-purchase some things. For $60, you can choose the Elite package that will give you early access to the game, in-game currency, and premium account access for the first couple of months. There's even a $30 version, so you can just pay a little money before the game comes out. You get guaranteed access to the game starting July 17th, and gives you some in-game bonuses once the game goes live. Now, the closed beta is available now, so if you want, you can go to mwomercs.com, sign up for the closed beta, and if your system specs meet what they're looking for, they can get you signed up right away. Otherwise, you can pay for one of the packages and get guaranteed access on July 17th. You can bet money that I will have my $60 in hand as soon as they find a way to let me take it. You can't quite buy these plans yet, but they're going to be coming out momentarily, at least within the next few days, they say. So this is one of the games that I've been hotly anticipating for the last decade. An online MechWarrior game is something I've been hankering for a long time. So I'm very excited to see it coming, and I can't wait to play it.
So that's going to be our previews, and now we are going to hop into playing some awesome knots. Nice. Shane, you go ahead and hop in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and
chat time.
Take on or team up with you guys and see if we can beat the computer.
Let's do it.
Something that I haven't quite done
yet. Yeah, computer is harder than it looks.
Yeah.
You would be surprised. You wouldn't think that little AIs could be this tough, but this game actually has a surprisingly good AI. Oh. Now, Awesome Knots, if you're not familiar with it, is basically a 2D League of Legends style game, and gives you the ability to play in lane-based combat, just like you would in League of Legends or Dota.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoot over there if you guys don't mind.
Yes.
Oh, sure, I'll take a center. Whatever.
Cozy up.
Deal. All right.
I'm gonna play as you, Shane.
All right.
I'm trying to give you a good reputation.
Nice. That's right. You can only improve my.
We'll see about that.
I did a terrible job.
As long as I don't choke this show.
So I haven't quite unlocked all the characters, but we do have quite a few to go in. So as was previously mentioned, it plays very much like League of Legends, where there are turrets that you want to blow up, and we're going to team up and see what we can do. There are little minions that come out and watch our backs a little bit, but. Right now, where I'm in the top left screen. I am at the store. Gonna purchase some stuff.
There's a store.
Yeah, there's a store right here.
I'm just gonna go for
it. Enables a tongue snatch.
Oh, I got pushed over there.
Cool.
Now these little white boxes are money that you can spend in the store to power up your character.
Do you lose money when you die?
Oh, that's a good question. And I'll tell you what. I'll let you know once I'm dead. Now there are these little green blocks. Oh geez. Oh no. I'm getting attacked by the turrets. Oh, here we go. That's.
Oh man. Oh crap.
Right, go ahead.
Oh crap.
Go ahead and.
Turret.
There we go.
Oh no.
Oh, there's like a secret hiding thing in this rock.
Oh goodness.
Well, don't worry. You and I teamed up on it. We got killed.
We tried.
Yeah. But now we get to shoot out the rocket, get some more dollars on the way down,
and then buy some more
stuff.
Now, does the stuff we had before carry over?
I believe so.
Okay.
How do I attack you?
Oh,
bastard?
Yes, it does. Perfect.
That's good. And some characters have double jump, like my cowboy has rocket boots. So now I wonder if money goes to everybody that's on the team, because earlier, let's see here.
I don't know.
Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to, but.
What are those green things? Is that health? Like
the green. Yeah, the green ones are health. Yeah.
Okay.
They're like these little brown guys. If you kill them, they give you health.
Okay.
Or at least that's been my experience so far.
Right.
They're kind of like neutral characters.
I've got. Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Ah.
Well, I kind of had your back until I died. Until you died.
How sad.
Okay.
I am not as smart as the turret.
Well, like we mentioned, the League of Legends turrets are unforgiving as well.
Yeah.
So, the game came out just a couple of weeks ago. Received huge reviews. And obviously we wanted to check it out. Now, like I said, I'm in the top left-hand corner. Where are you guys?
I'm on the bottom left.
I'm on top right.
Okay.
So, I'm battling some dudes right now.
Okay. Now, the strategy that I'm employing right now is sitting behind these little minion guys to see if they help out. It didn't help. It didn't help. they just kind of die.
There's like these weird little. Oh, this guy just vomited.
Yeah, you can use them as bodyguards or anything. Now, for anybody who's in the chat, we'd love to hear your opinions on the stories that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. Do you think that video games are innovative enough right now? Do you think that things need to change? Just let us know. And that would be much appreciated. Oh, I died.
Oh no.
My weapon is just terrible.
Unfortunately, I don't know if there's a way that you can change your character. Maybe if you hit start and change character. I also don't know if there's an ability to or if you can have more than one character on screen.
Oh dear.
Oh, I can shoot up though.
My poor minions.
All right, so I got 252, and let's see what this does. Enables a dynamite throwing technique.
So dead.
Let's go ahead and see. Bad dude Shane was killed by a turret. She's bringing shame to your name.
Sorry, Shane.
Oh, that's right. Like I said, you literally could not do any worse than I did. I think I got 1 or 2 minion kills and got killed by the NPC
turret. I can't get past the main
4
turret.
times. Yeah, those turrets are tough to take down.
Yeah.
You got to make sure to
they
go.
follow you everywhere.
Like go with support from your the minions that spawn from your base.
Yeah.
Like try to get a pool of them together and then go because they can like draw the fire a little bit. But yeah, it is rough.
Oh, man,
Come on, little buddies, let's go.
Maybe we should try and employ teamwork.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where you guys are.
Teamwork.
What is that?
Let's see.
I'm here to win on my own.
Where are you guys?
I'm a rogue.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so whoever's up on top, I'm coming to help.
I've got a couple of, no more minions in front of me. Okay, here's some. Oh dear.
Oh man.
There's no friendly fire, right?
No.
Unlike Call of Duty.
Yeah.
we have to thank our previous guest Brian for that. Oh, cool! I finally killed somebody.
Oh no!
Hey, you guys got like a whole bar off of that turret.
Oh shoot!
I want to get to that health.
I keep forgetting there's like this big guy that's in this bush thing.
Rollkeeper makes a great point that there is no I in team, but there is an Ewok.
All right.
So that's how they defeated the Empire.
That's true. So one thing that I noticed today, and it absolutely has nothing to do with video games.
Always good.
They are working on the 6th Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
What?
Do you
have they not had enough?
Do you realize that once that is made, there are as many Fast and the Furious as Star Wars movies?
Oh my goodness. I was just thinking that.
Although I will give them this, the last one was decent.
Was it?
I liked a couple of them.
I gotta be honest, I checked out after the second one. Like I liked the first one. First one was great. I watched the second one; it was so much worse. That okay, they're just ringing this out now.
I don't know if I.
I definitely think they've gone too far.
Okay, but just like the conversation we were having earlier, I didn't approach it as an art or literature film. I approached it as a popcorn flick, and as that, it did a great job.
Yeah.
But the second one was a subpar, popcorn flick, and that I just can't deal with. I can deal with a subpar art movie or a good popcorn flick, but a bad popcorn flick, not worth my time.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, a pretty awesome movie release date was announced today.
Which one?
Wait, the what now?
Indie Game the movie.
Oh, Indie Game the movie, yes.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
That is June 26th, if memory serves correctly. We got to go to a screening of that last month, and it's a phenomenal film. Even if you're not a gamer, it's a story that will resonate with you, absolutely. Anytime you've ever taken a shot or tried to do something that nobody thought you'd be able to do, Indie Game the movie has that story, and I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, and then it's going to be out on Blu-ray and direct download and on iTunes and every digital media format humanly possible. So if you have any sort of technology that was built in the last 20 years, you'll be able to play Indie Game the movie.
You went to the screening. Did you get to talk to anybody?
We did. Yeah, we actually talked to the directors for a while. We had a nice long interview with them. They're phenomenal people.
Yeah.
They were clearly exhausted.
Yes.
They've been on this whirlwind cross country tour for the last 2 months, and every now and then I'll see one of the directors tweeting at 2 a.m. from a hotel room, going like, "This mini bar is amazing." Clearly you can tell he's tired and strung out.
Yeah.
But he's following a passion project, and
that's awesome.
It is definitely cool. Yeah, because they were even saying that a lot of the things that they were seeing in the process of making the movie, or paralleled their own lives in trying to get the movie made. by watching the difficulties these game developers had in making the games.
Yeah.
Like, they're very much, parallel. Because it speaks to anybody who's tried to take on a Herculean task. To try to pull that off is not easy.
Yeah, and it really is a feel-good movie as well. Because Fez and Super Meat Boy are the primary games that are focused, in that.
Oh God, I love Super Meat Boy.
Exactly. So that's the thing. One major drawback of documentaries is, if it's something that you're interested in, you can kind of tell what the ending is going to be because it's real life.
Right.
So if the first time that you're hearing about these people is in the movie, then chances are the ending's not going to be that good.
Well,
but until that movie makes them,
But, funny exception, though, because with Fez, I had heard about the game when he first announced it back in, 2008, and I was really excited for it. And then I didn't hear anything about it for, 3 years, so I literally forgot it existed until I saw the movie, and I was like, wait, did that game come out? And I didn't want to, lean over and ask Will, because I didn't want to feel like an idiot. So I was like, maybe it did came out, or maybe it didn't. Maybe this is going to be a story of failure. So I was actually on the edge of my seat, waiting to see what would happen with the PAX East thing, which I won't spoil. Go see the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's phenomenal.
It is. And another exception to that is a band called Anvil, who in the metal scene was big in the 80s, back with Metallica days and stuff like that. And it's about their struggle trying to become big. And you'd think that, obviously you don't really know who they are at the end, so you think that it's going to be a sad story. But then after the movie, they got big. In the metal scene, a lot of people know who they are now because of the movie.
Yeah.
So, there can be a happy ending with it, but for the movie, you can sense, how it may end.
Right. So, have you guys managed to kill a turret yet?
We're almost done with.
I can teleport.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. So the bottom right, you guys are Team Red, right?
Yes.
All right, so you got it. You took one upper lane turret.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is it upper lane?
Yeah.
It is upper lane. What are we doing? What am I doing when I'm on
I
the
don't know.
bottom?
You're wasting your time, is what you're doing, and your whole team's time.
Time to start working up on the top. All right, guys.
She's a Renegade has a question for Richard and Joyce, real quick.
Yes.
Richard. Well, this will be for both of you. I'll start with Richard. But we talked about our previews just a little while ago. Is there something that's coming out in the near future that you're excited about?
In the near future?
Yeah. Ugh. Or medium future. That's fine.
Well, I was going to say, freaking Bioshock Infinite.
Right.
I have never been more excited for just watching 15 minutes of gameplay footage. I don't know if anyone else has seen the trailer or the 15 minutes of just play footage.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, my God. And then, I don't know, for everyone who hasn't seen it yet, when she opens up that gateway in space time and what you see through the portal is wow. I've never had my mind blown so badly, and I just can't wait to see where they go with that.
Yeah, it definitely is a really different look in the Bioshock universe, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Joyce, how about you?
Gosh, there's so many. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but I really can't wait to play The Walking Dead episode 2.
Oh, how is that? Did you play the first episode?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
It was good.
I have to admit, I was burned by Back to the Future, the Telltale games.
They gave it a bad rap. They gave Telltale a bad rap, but I think The Walking Dead was probably their redeeming game.
Okay, I have to give that a try.
It's good.
Yeah.
The art is awesome. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the game.
Nice. Yeah, I did like the look of Back to the Future. I was a huge Back to the Future fan, and even I couldn't play that. So I thought maybe Telltale Games is not the best storytellers out there. but if Walking Dead is good by you, I'm definitely willing to give that a try.
It's also good by me, the guy who's on the show.
So as long as it's good by you, Joyce, then I now it's got your seal of approval.
Well, your
now
opinion
I will make that
matters to me.
choice.
Yeah. It was actually funny. We were talking, I had beaten the game just before her, and I was just sitting hurry up and finish so we can talk about what happened. Hurry up.
And finally I'm like, I did it. It was so good.
That is how I felt with all of my friends waiting for them to see the Avengers.
Oh my goodness.
I saw it the day it came out, and it took surprisingly long for my friends, who I thought were my type of nerd, to see the movie. I was like, come on!
Oh, that movie's so good. I would love to see it multiple times.
Yeah.
Actually, that is my plan.
Yeah, I've seen it twice now, and I absolutely intend to see it a third time before we get too far. If any of you out there, it doesn't matter if you've seen a comic book movie before, it doesn't matter if you've seen, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, any of those, just go see The Avengers. It is the best way to introduce you to the wider world of superheroes that I think I've ever seen. And of course, it was, not to be too big of a fanboy. Screw it, I am too big of a fanboy. Joss Whedon wrote one of the best scripts I've seen in years.
So I have to apologize. Apparently, I have been really shirking on my abilities because I have this bowl that is a shield, and I just took out the turret just because of the bowl. So well, now that we've pretty much wrapped up that, looks like that's gonna pretty much wrap us up. I
think we're good.
Yeah, thanks for watching us. We're gonna finish up these few little minions.
Yeah, just mopping up the end there, but it looks like the victory is assured now.
Yep.
So,
damn.
Thank you for joining us. On Monday, be sure to join us for our top picks. On Tuesday is going to be my live stream. On Wednesday will be Shane not doing his stream. I'll do a stream too.
Hey.
And then, of course, on Thursdays, join us at 8 p.m. here. And that's going to be it.
How dare you?
And we do have a Twitter and a Facebook
How dare
that
we
Shane
do.
would like to talk about.
On Twitter, you can find Will at Bad Dude Will. You can find me at Bad Dude Shane. Oh, look, we even line up in the right spots. That's so cool. See, we totally planned that. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/nowloadingtv. And if you ever want to watch any of these in the archives, you can watch them here on Ustream or at our YouTube page at youtube.com/nowloadingtv. So that'll wrap us up for tonight. Thank you guys all for watching. Thanks again to Richard and Joyce for joining us. You guys are phenomenal. And thank you for making my my gamer tag look good there.
I tried.
You all there in chat have a great night, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.